Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Modern Overman. Okay, so for today, we are going to be kind of going back and looking at our survival series a little bit, maybe not exactly picking things apart, but making things updated for 1896. So for those of you familiar with the channel, I did a short series, maybe 4 or 5 videos on how to survive as a solo and various things you could do, whether it be compound fights or optimizing your loadout, things like that. But I wanted to, again, go back here to update that as a solo versus trios when it comes to just the best way to survive in the bayou and, of course, in Mammon's Gulch. And for new players coming back to the game, maybe they haven't played in a while, or again, just new players who've never played before. So with that in mind, the biggest thing that you're going to get to after training when you are wanting to play Bounty Hunt is being able to select a hunter. So obviously, fairly simple here, we're going into hunters. I've already got 2 legendary hunters right here, but we're not going to worry about that. Your first options right here are recruiting free hunters, which you get a random assortment of hunters here with various different states of equipment. I mean, this person, Oline Abramoff, excellent hunter. She's got a Winfield. Again, I'm not sure of the specific type of Winfield. It used to be a Winfield C, but now they call it something different. This guy's got another medium slot rifle, medium ammo rifle, I should say, for the the 18 something carbine. I'm not sure the year of it, but it's a okay medium slot, medium ammo weapon. And a shotgun Romero, you really can't go wrong with that. And then a bow and a medium Springfield, you know, for definitely kind of close quarter options, but with also being able to use the, you know, sawed-off rifle. Again, these are randomly selected. These are free, you know, so if you're just getting in and you're out of money or something like that, you can always select these. But the main thing that we're going to be talking about, at least for the start of the video today, is recruiting a hunter. So there are a lot of options. When it comes to hunters, these are all legendary hunters and some various other ones that I've unlocked here, and then plus there's other ones down here that I haven't either purchased or unlocked yet. But it may come off as daunting. The actual hunters themselves don't matter; they're just skins. They all cost the same, 100 hump bucks, which I feel like is pretty good considering what they come with. Now, let's just select a hunter. I think we're going to go with. Why don't we select with Drifter here? He's a great looking skin who came out with the new update for Hunt 1896. Now, when you start off here, you've got an empty loadout slots. You've got 3 randomly selected traits. You've got 3 randomly selected traits, and you've got your health bars. So, the first thing that we're going to take a look at here actually is our health bars. Now, what's nice is every time you buy a new hunter, you can apply it to keep on the same health bar setup every time, which for my purposes and for the purposes of this video, I have 3 big bars. Now, as a hunter in Hunt Showdown 1896, you can have up to a total of 150 health. Now, if you lose bars in game, or you know, for some reason move these bars, then you can have less than that. But the big bars are worth 50 health points, and the small bars you can see here are worth 25 health points. But I played 3 big bars, and the reason behind that is that as a solo, and we'll get into how the Necromancer and everything like that works, but as a solo, having 3 big bars, I feel like, is your best option for a couple reasons. And one of them is status effects, and the other one is just taking damage. We'll start with taking damage. So when you take damage from enemy fire, your first couple hits, or maybe the first hit, if they're not a particularly great shot, or, you know, you're just taking damage from falling, something, whatever it is, that big bar, if they don't take 50 health, or whatever reason you don't lose a full 50 health, maybe only 49 health or something like that, then you're not going to have to use a healing, either a healing med kit or any sort of healing mechanic at all. You won't have to. You can just let that health bar come back. So that's really valuable, in my opinion. The second thing here is status effects. There are multiple things that can affect you, whether it be bleeding or fire or poison. Yeah, that's about it. But the core of their issue is bleeding and burning. So with bleeding, if you take a hit, in combination with a trait called Bloodless, you don't have to take that much. You don't take as intense bleeding, and you don't lose as much health as quickly. But that's not what's super important here. The big thing is burning. So having a big health bar, a big 50 health chunk, is that if somebody shoots you with incendiary ammo, then once you start, again, this is considering if you don't have salve skin, but we'll get into that later. But if you get hit with incendiary ammo, then when you start burning, you're not going to lose a 25 health bar very quickly, and that's important. So you've got this 50 health bar to keep you going. The other thing is when people throw hellfire bombs down at you, if you only have a 25 health bar and definitely don't have salve skin, that 25 health bar is gone. It's just gone forever. With a big 50 bar, then you've got a little bit of breathing room, so to speak, in order to get that health bar back. The other thing too is immolators, right? If for some reason an immolator goes off right next to your vicinity and you don't have salve skin and you have this big bar, you're not going to lose the health bar right away either. You've got some time to set yourself off fire, if that makes sense. You can finish off the immolator or something like that and get into cover and heal yourself and without losing the bar. So that's really important. The last thing that we'll talk about here is Necromancer, and we'll get into the traits here in just a moment, is that it used to be before the 1896 update, when you die and you come back using Necromancer, then the last bar that you had available to go down with is gone permanently. And so what I used to do is take a big bar and 2 small bars and then a final big bar, so that way I had a little bit more opportunity to get up. But then of course, there's that huge opportunity cost that when you lose a big bar, pretty much all long ammo can down you. I mean, the long ammo can down you pretty much anyway when you lose a 25. There's maybe a few exceptions that we're not going to worry about right now. But since they changed that, once you go down and come back with Necromancer, then you've got all of your big bars back. As long as you're not, immediately burning and losing health, then those big bars are back and you can get into the fight right away without using the trait Resilience. So that's important. The next thing that we're going to do here is take a look at our traits. Now, Legendary Hunters come with 3 randomized traits. I think the standard is to get you somewhere close to around 8 or 9 trait points. Now, we got pretty lucky here. All these trait points are worth quite a bit. Now, what most people could do is buy a hunter and just take with what they got, right? They're like, okay, well, this hunter has Levering and Scopesmith and Frontiersman. Great, traits. I would say Scopesmith is not amazing. It's only worth 2 points, so it's not a big deal if you have it when you're using a scope, in my opinion. But with Levering, you can have your Terminus, which is really important to have Levering with, or you can take one of the various Winfield variants and lever in close quarter combat. The other thing too is Frontiersman. This is great because you get 1 extra tool of all of your tools that you have equipped, and I think it's 7 points. Let's take a look. Yeah, so it is worth 7 points because you only get 6 points back when you remove them, and that's the important thing that we're going to be talking about here. So when you want to respec your traits, which in my opinion I believe you should going in as a solo, is that you get 1 less than what the trait is worth, unless the trait is worth 1 point, and then you just get that 1 point back. So we're going to be removing these traits, going in here, and it looks like we got 10 trait points back, which is a good amount. Now, let's go look at the traits here. These are my favorite traits that I have, that I use probably the most frequently. Now, not all of them I use. Some of them I kind of reserve for teams. Some of them I used back when I was taking snipers quite a lot, but more or less that's kind of changed. But these are still what I'm going to be using most of the time. Now, as a solo, I would say not your most important trait, but your number 1 trait that you should be taking if you want to stay in the fight as long as you can is Necromancer. As the trait suggests here, you can revive yourself once you've been downed 1 time. It used to be different. You used to be able to revive yourself as long as you had health bars. They've changed it since it's only a 1-time use, and I think it's great. And once it's once you've used it, then a trait is gone. You just can't use it again. It's a what's called a burn trait, so it burns away after use. We're going to be just taking this automatically. We've got 10 trait points to use, and that Necromancer is worth 4 points, so we're going to be taking that. Just to be able to stay in the fight for as long as possible. Now, where to go from here? I would say your most important, your number one trait point that you should be taking as a solo is Magpie. Now, the reason why, one, it's only worth 1 point, so it's very cheap and effective. The second thing is, once you've picked up a bounty token, and we'll talk about Darkseid here in just a moment, but once you picked up a bounty token, now this is whether or not you're solo or in teams, you get an antidote, stamina, and regeneration shot, all in one. So it's got that few extra minutes of just being able to survive a little bit longer with some status negation effects. But what's great about it is that as a solo, those are doubled. But the most important thing here, and I can't stress this enough, is that when you pick up a bounty as a solo, then you get double the amount of Darkseid boost. This is insane. Now, it doesn't mean you should be burning up all your Darkseid boost, double the rate than you were before. But when you're teams and you pick up a bounty, you only get 5 seconds as a solo rather. Then you get 10 points of Darkseid boost. This is phenomenal. It's really amazing. We're going to be taking this. Now, I will say as a quick aside, for my new players here, this might not matter much to you. For my veteran players coming back to the channel and who are very familiar with the game, controversial opinion, hot take. I think that with Magpie, now they could change the, how much the point is costs, but with Magpie, since you're getting double the Darkseid boost, I think that you should be able to pick up both bounty tokens as a solo only. And when you die, if a team comes up to you, or somebody's in a team, they only get 1 bounty token and there's a bounty token left on your body. Or if another solo comes and kills you and they want to take a bounty token, then if they have Magpie, then they'll be able to pick up both bounty tokens from you. I think that just makes sense logically with how the trait works. I'll take over. Now, for our next few trait points, we've got 5 trait points left, and we've got a few different ways to spend them. Now, for me personally, my next couple traits that I take depends on, 1, how much experience I have, and 2, what I'm playing. So normally is what I would take is Dauntless. Again, another 1 point trait. It's an amazing trait, and I think that everybody should take it just to get used to it and just try it out with different play styles and experiment with it. Is that you're able to defuse explosives with Dauntless by just the press of a button with using your interact tool. Now, it's not just explosives also. If you are burning bodies of enemy teams and they try to choke out their burning partner, if they don't charge that choke and throw it directly on the body for it to explode right over it and then have the fire get out, and they just chuck it without any regard, and the choke bomb goes near their body, you can defuse that choke bomb also. So it's a pretty amazing trait to have. And then again, just using explosives. If people are throwing explosives in, you can turn those off real quick. If you're safe and you're behind cover or something like that, and you're fast enough, then you can defuse that explosive. But for this video, let's focus on a couple others that might keep you surviving longer in the game. So as somebody who loves crossbow, normally I would take bolt thrower just because it reduces the time for reloading crossbows. But for this one, we're going to skip over this just for a second. With 5 points left, a couple essential traits might be Salve Skin, which slows the rate of burning, Bulwark, which reduces the damage from explosions by 50%, which is great. It also, reduces the duration and effect of flash bombs, but almost no one takes flash bombs anymore because Crytek nerfed them into the ground a long time ago. So don't necessarily worry about that. They also used to protect you from a bomb lance harpoon. They do not anymore. Unfortunately, I don't know why they changed that. But Bulwark is good if you're going to be up close in quarters. The other thing I would say is Bloodless is another 3-point trait that's really great because it reduces the intensity of bleeding. So whether it be from frag bombs or a crossbow or anything else that can bleed you, like hellhounds. And then with the upcoming uh, bear AI in the murder circus, then that's going to be able to probably help you as well. I'm guessing, be able to heal from bleeding a little bit faster. So those are all great points. I would say that if I've got 5 points left over. I could either take Bloodless or Salveskin. I'm probably going to go with Salveskin. The other thing I would say is that you've got Conduit, which is 5 points, which would cover the cost of what we have, and it gives you stamina for every time you pick up a clue, which is great. And it also heals you as well, and it's great for like needing to run around as quickly as you can from map to map, or going from clue to clue to find the boss as quickly as possible. The other thing that we'll talk about here is Serpent. Serpent as a solo is great because that way you don't have to risk yourself getting far out in order to pick up a clue or to banish a boss or to pick up a bounty from a safe distance. You can do the same thing when you're in teams, but the distance isn't as far. It's only 25 meters as it shows right here. As a solo, you can do it out to 50 meters. And, when you're picking up clues as a team, one person can go pick up the clue if it's kind of out in the open, and then the other two or the other team member can kind of watch your back as you do that. But with a solo, since you've got nobody else watching your back, having Serpent is a really amazing trait here, which I think we're just going to go ahead and go with. So that's leaves us with 1 point left. Now, again, I talked about having Dauntless. It's a great trait. The other thing, though, the 1 point that we have left here is picking up Vigilant. Vigilant is a really amazing trait. And I say that is because you are able to see traps that people place on the ground. Now, Hunt is a game that has changed a lot over time, but pretty much the meta is what it has been for a long time, is people placing an ungodly amount of traps, and being able to see them in dark sight is really great, especially when you're breaching buildings or going to supply points where people are hiding bear traps, mixed with concertina and poison and everything like in between, in the tall grass and everything like that. It's super important, and it will save you from many deaths as long as you remember to use it or remember that you have it. A lot of times you're going to be checking dark sight, looking for clues, looking to see exactly where the boss is in the boss lair. Maybe you don't have the best audio and you're looking for that. I would highly recommend taking Vigilance, so that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, the next thing that we've got in mind is our loadout. Now, since we have traits that aren't loadout specific, we're not going to be worrying about the specific weapons that we're going to be taking. We are going to be looking at tools and consumables. So I've got my set tools here, and if you look at the cost, I feel like it is fairly cost effective. And now you could remove a couple things, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. So why don't we go ahead and buy that for $633? But you can obviously mix and match on your own, and we're going to go over all of them together. So the first thing, number one here, health kit. Always have a health kit. If you're not taking a health kit, you're playing the game wrong. The next thing here is this is basically where I would put a melee slot right here. You've got your knives, you've got your heavy knives, knuckle dusters, and then you've also got your throwable melee weapons. You've got your throwing axes, throwing knives, and your spear. Now, the spear has been nerfed. I don't like how much it's been nerfed. They nerfed how slow it is and how much damage it is, and the fact that you needed Surefoot in the last two events in order to be able to sprint with it fully charged up. It's disappointing, but it's still a really useful tool. You can kill hives with it one shot. You can kill immolators with it one shot. You can no longer kill armors with it one shot, which is, again, disappointing. Later on, if you come back to the channel, you might see us attempting to go back and get used to throwing axes. That's what we used before. And you get 2 throwing axes. The throwing spear, you only get 1 unless you have frontiersmen. So You know, it's I would say this is your discretion right here, but take something. You know, definitely take a melee tool. They are so important to have. I know probably the meta right now is probably throwing knives. Our next tool here that we're going to be using are decoy fuses. These are so great to have. They have so much utility. You can fake them out because they basically act as fake dynamite. You can turn them off with Dauntless. You can breach doors with them because they have a small little explosion. If somebody's got a locked door, you can throw it at its base and it'll blow up that door. Excellent use. And then, yeah, I mean, you know, when you're pushing buildings, you know, you've got like a shotgun or something like that, and you want to fake people out and clear some space. Amazing use here. They're fairly inexpensive. The other thing here that we've got are fuses for burning hunters. Now, burn speed used to be a little bit faster. They've definitely slowed it down. Before, I used to take concertina traps, so that way when people get necroed or somebody goes to get the res and they don't see the trap, then they will either die from the concertina trap if they don't have resilience, or it slows them down and you can kind of, you know, maybe watch the body and get a kill on them once they've taken a little bit of damage. However, I find burning hunters just easier. You know, if you sit there and burn a hunter, then you can kind of watch it and have it burn out and make sure that, you know, whoever is fighting, they can't get their teammate back in the game unless they have bounty or some other way to restore bars of enemy hunters. And what's nice about the fuses is that it has an arc that you can clearly see with the aim helper, whereas the flare gun, you have to kind of aim it, and it can be a little bit difficult to aim with the with bullet drop technically in the game. So our last thing that we're going to be talking about here are consumables. Now, I used to play it a little bit different, but what's been consistent is having two large regen shots, which give you 10 minutes of health regen. So it grants you a total of 20. This is just amazing to have, so you don't run out of heals pretty much the entire game. I mean, the game is, 45 minutes long. That's the standard. Most people don't run out 45 minutes, and if you space them out, like you're not using it, you're not going to hit your regen shot right when you load up the game. I mean, some people do, I guess, so you don't forget about it, but then when it runs out, then it's like, okay, it's gone, so keep that in mind. Use as needed, for a total of 25 minutes, or 20 minutes, sorry, health regen. Now we're going to skip over the frag bomb here for just a second and go to stam shot. I used to run antidote shot, and that was because of how much poison and death traps that people would put in the game. I don't run into death traps nearly as much, largely because the effectiveness has changed and I would say diminished since the update of the game, since 1896 launch. What I do find, however, is needing to run more, needing to run away more, and running out of stamina more. And I find that having a stam shot with unlimited stamina for 10 minutes is very important to have. Just being able to get away as a solo, if you're heavy breathing when you're running in the bayou or in the mountains in Mammoth's Gulch, it's not a great time. When you're running away and you've got a full trio with Darksight chasing you down, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. Let me tell you. So with that in mind, I would just say that having full stamina is really important to have. Being able to get away from places or push things, it's really important to have. Last thing here that we'll talk about, I've been carrying a frag bomb. You can use whatever you need here. Just think of this as like another utility slot here, right? I use frag bombs to either clear buildings, or if somebody's hiding out in a corner and I know they're not really, they can't really get out of there, I'll toss the frag bomb in to get a kill. But you can do anything with this. You can use high bombs if you know how to use them well. You can use a sticky bomb to kill the bosses, or any other things of dynamite. You can add another status effect consumable, like the antidote, like another stam shot. I mean, you can have all regen shots if you want. It's really nice. But I've just been using the frag bomb. That's my personal choice that I've been taking. Find what works for you. Okay, the last thing that we'll talk about are our weapon slots. I would just say, pick what you want, pick what you think is fun, pick what's comfortable. If you've been playing something for a while and you're used to it and you feel like you're good at it, just take it. Don't try to necessarily play anything that you are uncomfortable with. You know, you should step out of your box and try to play new things, but it's not really important. I will say that you should synergize your traits with the weapons that you're taking. You know, something like this, with these traits that I have available, you know, I could take something like a Bomb Lance, I could take something like a Springfield or a Sparks, you know, where you don't need to aim down sights when you're reloading. Anything like that, you know, you could take a Winfield and you'll do just fine. And you can also take a crossbow. Having bolt thrower is really important with a crossbow, but it's not necessary. If you know, it's a single shot weapon. Once you take your shot, you should be moving the heck out of the way and taking your time to reload. And you know, without bolt thrower, you just need an extra, you know, half second or second or two, whatever the time needed to reload is, to get another bolt in there. So it's not a big deal. I would just say play what's comfortable, play what's fun. Don't worry about the meta. Don't sweat too hard unless you really want to. With that being said, why don't we go ahead and get into the game and see how these all play out, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. All right, thanks for stopping by. I really, really miss Surefoot, dude. Okay, we're just going loud, dude. That's it. Go this way. Choke beetle. Okay. I don't know why it made it seem like I had a choice, dude. Kind of shocked by this. Is there already another team here? To these ducks. Traps. That's not what I wanted to do. Why can't I select it? What? I don't know where she's shooting from. I actually have no clue where she's fucking shooting from. Dude. Hey, what up? I got a lot of shit going on, dude. A fucking lot. He definitely doesn't fucking like me here, dude. Definitely doesn't like me being in here. They used up their necro. I don't know where the fuck this guy is, dude. I don't have necro, so I mean, I'm kind of like use that shit up, dude. I heard some shit, dude. Okay. Lightfoot, damn. Good RNG right there, man. I'm guessing fucking... I don't know. We'll just see, I guess. Okay. Hoping the skin will kind of help me blend in a little bit to right here. Shin Gorge. Oh, dude, people already picked up fucking... What's his face, dude? Get out of the open, dude. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh, okay. Oh! Damn! Okay. I'm fucked. Oh! Nice. Maybe I'll... Alice, okay. I'm in fire right now. That's awful. It was not good. Yeah, pick that up, please. There's no... There's just a grunt, yeah. Oh, okay. Where the fuck is that going? GG's, guys. That was wild, man. Explosive, dude. What a fucking... That's insane. Okay, well, let's go north. Romero's great, dude. Romero is great.